I had been in the business for almost 17 years, and I started as a film producer and then the acquisition and programming manager, and then I was in charge of the building up the distribution in Central Europe, and approximately 3 years ago I sold my share to the mother companies and I decided to invest into my own project, which is beautifully named Film Europe, and the name says what we are doing. We are simply distributing the European films, so far in Europe only. But the differentiator is that we are not just distributing them in the theaters, VOD, DVD of course. We are also selling the European films to the free TV stations, but the very differentiator is that we are having our own pay TV channel, which is called Film Europe channel, and this is our flagship. This is something what I definitely would like to offer as a tool, as a beautiful, if you wish, product or a package of the European films. That's why I extremely appreciate the event like we are having here in a beautiful place in Jordan. This is what I call the source of the knowledge, the source of the networking, and the source of the projects, because I was inspiring, and I'm always inspiring by talking to the people and actually listening to their case studies. I mean, books are perfect, even your own studies is excellent, but the people are adding to this something which you never grasp from the books. And Film Europe is about this. We want to be networking, we want to be a part of the game, and I want to radiate the friendship. That's the best way how to make a business. Thank you very much.
I think I have a nice and very good impression with this, because I do believe that they are really keen on this idea of creating a network for the distributors from the region, because they are facing several difficulties. First from their own government. They don't have a lot of subsidies to help them to distribute. They have a lack of knowledge about the international markets, and especially sometimes to find the proper international sales agent to have access to the right films. So I do believe it's a really good initiative, and that they have to focus and to emphasize on the fact that they should really create a network which will give them the strength and the power to discuss with their own government, as well as with the international institution, and especially also with the sales agent and so on. I think it's really, really important for them to be like that. And I do feel from what we have, the different panels we had today, that they are, I would say, very concentrated on all of them. They were, for some of them, they were quite reactive. And I do believe that it's to learn and to know how some examples which have been working somewhere else will allow them to take the best of each initiative to create something which would be good for the future for them.
So Europa Distribution was created in 2006 by independent distributors from Europe, and they wanted to be represented at European level, to be a lobbying force, and they also wanted to share information, experiences, and to have regular meetings where they could talk about distribution matters. So we've been, the network has been existing for 6 years now, and we started with 30 members. We are now 120 members from 26 European countries. And what we have seen over the last few years is that The lobbying was a very important part of the network, and that at last the interests of the distributors were represented. But also what has been very important is the organization of regular workshops, training workshops, but also conferences where they could meet, discuss, and get to know each other and create a real network. So this is why we think it's very important, especially nowadays that we are facing so many new challenges like new business models, digital arriving in cinemas, VOD starting to become a key revenue for distributors. And this is why we think this kind of networks should be a model for other regions in the world. So we have worked also with Latin America, helping to create networks in Latin America. And now we think that with Euromed, it's very important to start doing this work in the Mediterranean countries as well, and try to support, to help the professionals here, the distributors here, to get to know each other better, to work with each other more, and to create in the end formal networks to become a political force and to be stronger when they acquire films.